What's going on, everybody? It's your boy T Spiller. Welcome to Spilling All the Tea. We're going to be talking about Love and Hip Hop, Season 4. I believe this is, episode 12. And I'm going to do this a little bit differently because I read and take notes, but I did a whole lot of live tweeting. So I'm probably glancing, at my phone periodically. If y'all hear some noise in the background, that is a fan. It's hot as shit. Okay. So I think it'll probably be best if I just go person by person. And I think that'll get me through, because I don't really gotta have a whole lot to say, even though I tweeted a whole lot of shit though. So let me go ahead and get Kirk, Rashida, and what the girl name is, Ashley out the way. So pick up where we left off. Now we all were thinking that Kirk wasn't gonna be in the room. Guess what? He was not in the room, but there was somebody in the room. So apparently, Ashley has a girlfriend. Now, it's one of those things where it's really not a big deal to me. It's almost like she was making the big deal, and when she approached Kirk, Kirk was like, "Yeah, I knew." But it was one of those where it's just like, who really cares? But yeah, the whole way she dropped in and whatnot, mad bogus. And my whole thing is this: unless that was gonna be a part of her storyline, why was the camera in the room with, Ashley? Which further lets me know that this storyline was, a piece of shit, but we already knew that. So she goes talk to Kirk again. Kirk says he already knew, and he feels that it's sexy and attractive that she got this upset and this angry over this, and they get to kissing and shit, whatever. But let me say, Rashida looks fine as fuck. I mean, she never was ugly, but I'm just saying she fine as fuck. And pretty much the way I'm gonna end it is, Ashley had a photo shoot, and Rashida decides to go to make sure that she ain't looking raggedy. They have a girl-to-girl moment. Rashida apologizes. I think Ashley even fucking apologizes. She mentioned how I think she said her mother committed suicide, which again, suicide is something that's near and dear to me, for those of y'all who know. And she was like, because of that and other situations that have happened, she's not really, she has a hard time when it comes to females interacting with them. But it's good that she knows that, something that happened in her past affects her present. That's it about them. See, scroll through and see who the next person I'm gonna hit on. Alright, so Scrappy is with Bambi, and his whole thing is, I guess, him seeing how Ernest and his mother are acting is making him think over things about his relationship with Bambi. And, he gives her the key to his house, which is a big step, but he puts it in the box, making everybody think, oh, he about to propose. Whatever. Now, I had tweeted before it happened, but I'm pretty sure, hold on, wait. Yeah, and I put on here, so Bambi is concerned about his family, and it's a catalyst to usher in, and I put America. I meant to usher in Erica, and the child support shit fucking autocorrect. But I did tweet that. And lo and behold, when Scrappy goes to meet with her, y'all gotta give me a second, I gotta sit here and reply to a quick text message. And Scrappy goes and meets up with Erica, and as they're talking and everything, of course, the whole child support situation just happens to come up because they ain't talked in a hot minute. And he pretty much is saying how, for the sake of Imani, let us just figure out how we can better do this. Pretty much saying, let's keep this shit out of the courts. And she in a confession talking about, so, oh, look who done grew up. But this is the same shit that he has been talking about before this episode. Same shit y'all have been doing. Again, all for a storyline, y'all. Who the fuck else? Alright, so Mimi is sitting here, kissing ass and eating ass. She goes Jazz face trying to patch shit up with him. My thing is, why did it take you so long, unless this is editing, which it probably is, to go talk to Jazzy and apologize for the fucking blunder that you did? And she was like, the mistake that I made was, you know, having both of them at the same meeting. No, the mistake that you made was not telling either one they were going to be in the same meeting together. That was the mistake. And possibly having them in the same room possibly was a mistake, but still, whatever. And, you know, Jazz pretty much has made it clear he don't want to fuck with Jessica because of, you know, her attitude and shit, but he's willing to work with Tiffany Fox. So then Mimi goes and talks to Tiffany Fox, going and kissing and eating her ass, apologizing to her. Tiffany Fox whole thing is, yeah, I'll work with Jazzy, I'll work with you, let's just skip the management thing. And she was coming so hard, you would think that, okay, she been working on this album, but she worked on the mixtape. I'm not down playing her dropping the mixtape, but the way she was going on him, you would think that, you know, she had an album and shit in the works. Okay. So Mimi takes Jessica to go meet with Jermaine Dupri, since she knows so many producers. First thing out of his mouth is pretty much, I heard about you and how you get down. So, and here's the whole thing. Yes, certain, you know, establishments are small. Okay, like in my field, air traffic control, it is small. So if I don't know somebody, I probably know somebody that knows that person. It's small. With that, the music industry is small, and I'm pretty sure the circle of producers is even smaller. So yeah, JD didn't heard about you. And she started performing disrespectful in front of him, and the look on Mimi's face is like, ugh, this shit. Like, she wasn't enthused about what she was singing. And JD whole thing is, you know, sounded like stripper fight music, but, you know, I don't necessarily have beats on me, but I make them, you know, as I work with the artist, so he's willing to work with her. And just based off that, Mimi hands her some contract papers, and all of a sudden, oh my gosh, my whole thing is this. I looked at Mimi like, I need for you to show me just a little bit more before I sit here and sign some papers, but that's just me. What else the fuck we got? By the way, we did not get any Jocelyn or Stevie this episode. Just put that out there. Alright, so Jock brings some finalized divorce papers over to KD's house to prove that he's ready to come back, and that's his move, his signature move, I'm gonna call it. My thing is this: he's full of shit. Unless they are truly signed, he just has not submitted them. Because if y'all remember from the after show, after party, whatever you want to call it, like a couple weeks ago, Alice pretty much said, you know, why don't you ask him why is he still sitting on them papers? Whatever. And then he goes and meets up with Cena and pretty much breaks it to her that I'm gonna do what I can to make this thing work with KD. She not feeling that, she mad because she feels he needs to come on home, this, that, and the third. So she begins to, you know, turn up in front, not necessarily in front of the kids, but the kids are in the vicinity. They're in like a little play thing with play balls and shit, you know, like almost like a Chuck E. Cheese, not really Chuck E. Cheese. And then she begins to physically, you know, try to attack him. And again, why are you doing this shit in the vicinity of your kids, of your children? So you're being belligerent and you're doing this. What is that teaching them? Like, to me, I'm just gonna fucking say it. That to me is shades of, you know, very fucked up parenting. Call it what the fuck you want. What the fuck else we got? Wait. Do I wanna wait? I just wanna make sure I didn't talk about everybody before I get to Kalina Neil. Alright, y'all, I think that's it. So I'm gonna start talking, but I'm gonna scroll through, and if I happen to have something else, then I'm just throwing it in because I really want to end with this. Alright, so you have Kalina. Kalina goes and she meets with Deb. Alright. And Kalina is pretty much asking her, you know, just like, okay, well, what can you do for me? And Deb's whole thing is, okay, well, let's take a step back, because Deb's kind of, I guess, Deb did not like that question. Personally, I did not find, or even professionally, I did not find anything wrong with that, because if you have somebody that's trying to be on your team, yeah, you want to ask them, depending on what it is that you're doing, what can you do for me? Now, at the same exact time, when you are out looking for, it's one of those where I see both sides. But I didn't see any harm in her asking, you know, what can you do for me? Because I'm pretty sure if she went to another producer or another manager, that person she would probably, and I would ask the same damn thing, what can you do for me? So she asked that. Deb not really feeling that. Deb, she was like, well, I feel as like the way it's coming off as if you're making it seem as if it would be a privilege for me to work with you. Now Kalina was like, yeah, it is. Now right there, my whole thing is this. I could sense that this conversation was going to go left, and I'm pretty sure everybody else did. So I was upset Kalina did not deflect it. And even if that's how she felt, she could have worded it in such a way that would not have come off as disrespectful, but she didn't. So Deb being in her feelings, shit started to go left. I'm not gonna get hit. I'm not gonna tell y'all blow for blow what the fuck happened. But it eventually got to the point where Kalina asked her, now granted, the question, for what it's worth, was not disrespectful, but it's the tone. But she was like, what have you done? Who have you worked with? And I don't think she said, I think she said in her confessional, because some of the artists that she used to work for, either they left her, they ain't doing shit right now, whatever the case may be. That's when Deb really got crumb. But my whole thing is this: a hit dog gon' holler. It's how the fuck I feel about it. Now my whole thing is, if she feel respect, I would have insulted. It's like, okay, I feel as if you're being disrespectful, and if you finna turn up, business setting. You know what? You're being very disrespectful. I would have kind of did her like Jazzy dismissed fucking Jessica. Can you please leave my office? Because you're being very disrespectful. And I'm not going to work with you, and I'm not going to entertain this foolishness, this fuckery, this coonery. That's what I wish Deb would have said if she truly felt the way that she felt. But she begins to turn up. I even think she stood up at one point trying to assume a dominant stance and all this other stuff. So now they're kind of going back and forth, even though, to me, I don't know. I don't really know how the fuck I felt about the shit. But, Deb pretty much said, I'm not going to work with you. And Kalina actually leaving and telling her, like, I still respect you. I still have nothing but love for you. Because Kalina's whole thing is, everything I'm asking you is what I would ask any manager. I just think her tone and her tact was fucked up. So she's talking with Rashida at the very end of the episode. Again, they leave all the juicy shit at the end, try to give you that cliffhanger. But at the very end of the episode, you have Rashida talking to Kalina at a club, and they're rehashing shit, and Tammy just so happens to walk in. She walks in and say, I came here to talk to you, whatever case may be. My whole thing is this: how the fuck did you know she was there? Fucking Mona. Somebody in production had to have been like, hey, so and so over here, you might want to come through. And again, that moment was real. I felt that moment was real. We just know that it was orchestrated. Force people into a situation hoping that some bullshit ensues, which it did. I didn't like how Tammy came up, because Tammy came up on that whole bitch, I'm finna tell you about yourself. That's what I got. Kalina stood her ground, just like, no, this is what I said. And what I said to Deb is what I would say to anybody. And Tammy's whole thing is, well, she felt disrespected, woo, why, woo, this, that, and the third. And I know that Kalina's whole thing is, I meant no disrespect by and all this other stuff. And at some point, all I know is Tammy started to invalidate what it is that she did. Which I was just like, the quickest way to piss somebody off is to try to sit here and invalidate them, especially when they have done some shit. And that's when they start having choice words. And Tammy's whole thing is, if you fucking with my family, since now she and Walker are officially married, so that's her mother-in-law, that she needs to step in. I'm not gonna sit here and give this shit too much motherfucking energy, because granted, it was ratchet, it was turned up, I enjoyed seeing it. The real brunt of it is gonna come in the next fucking episode. Can't wait. But my thing is this: Deb is a grown ass woman. Whatever they talked about professionally is what they talk about professionally. Her coming home and talk about it is that. I don't know if Deb asked her. Now if Deb asked her to be a bulldog, Deb, shame on you. But Tammy, Deb is a grown ass woman. Let this grown ass woman handle her fucking business. But my thing is this: you and Waka did not return, so what, is this your way to come back on the show as a fucking solo individual and just have little pop-ins? I mean, I'm gonna just call it how the fuck it is. Y'all really had nothing interesting last season to offer. Deb has more to offer than you do. Just saying. So, you guys, I really do think that's all that I have. So, that right there is my review. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. If you would like to link up with me socially, all of my social media information is in the description box down below. If you are wondering where the tea is or the drink, I'm just drinking on water, y'all. Trying to hydrate, trying to, go ahead and you know, get my shit back right. Don't think I ain't gonna be drinking on these damn videos. I will, just, yeah, not today. Plus, went to a party yesterday, did some drinking there, so, you know, of course have to get this shit right now, I'm just saying. So, yeah, please let me know how you guys feel about this. Please stand by and stay tuned, because the next one is going to be for Basketball Wives LA, Married to Medicine. You may get that tonight, or you might get it tomorrow. Haven't quite decided, because I'm sorry, I had to watch Basketball Wives over this shit. So, I'll let y'all later. Peace.